album concept hour. The album concept hour. It's the album concept hour.
And the Billboard Music Award goes to BTS!
Oh my God, John, BTS won.
Oh
Can
my
you believe
God!
it? Can you believe
This
it?
is
BTS
such a
won.
surprise.
Oh my God, I'm so
Go
excited.
BTS!
Yeah, BTS Army, am I right? Oh my God.
Ah, all
Yeah,
over the
yeah.
world.
All over the world, man. And I'm pretty sure that was Joseph Gordon-Levitt, if I were to guess. That sounded
Oh man,
kind of like
Robin, the real
yeah,
Robin.
JGB, or
J.
JGL.
Joseph.
Sorry.
JGL.
I was thinking of RGB, but
Right.
yeah. RIP. But we are. This is the album concept hour, and my name is Brad. I am your host, as always, and I have a virtual co-host that is almost always here. His name is John. Say hi, virtual John.
JB Johnny Boy checking in from the virtual world.
Yep. Or the digital world, if you're a fan of the
Yes,
Digiverse. And then
Digital
today
Monsters.
we
Still gotta do that album, by
the
the
very
way.
same. Oh, we will do that album. Mark my words. Today, though, we have a very special episode. I know we say that a lot, but I mean, this is really, it really is. We are covering something that we're going in blind, and it's gonna be a good time. We're doing a K-pop album with my sister Mel LeBaron. Mel, say hey.
Hey.
And before we get into the K-pop BTS album, what is it called again? Love Yourself (parentheses her), right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And yeah, she's on here because myself and Mel are also travelers. And what that means is that we have seen all of Dark, start to finish, and we are re-seeing it and doing some commentary along the way. So, Mel, you want to give them like a quick like 30-second rundown of what Dark is? You think you could do that?
The show or what we do about the show?
Let's start with the show, and then we can hone on what we do in the show. So, you think you could do Dark 30
Yeah.
seconds?
Okay. Dark is a German show about a bunch of people in a small town with a nuclear plant, and then people learn how to time travel, and people disappear and die, and everything's a little bit confused, and nobody talks to anybody else to solve their problems. There's a lot of trauma going on, a lot of dark secrets, and potentially time paradoxes.
Oh, and speaking of time, that's time. That's what's going on in the show of Dark. You'll
That's
have to
right.
watch it if you want to find out more. But no, Dark is a very,
No
very
spoilers here.
Dark is a very, very well done show. Really complex. If you like sci-fi kind of stuff, it is just real out there. If you like time travel, you're gonna want to watch some Dark. You know. But yeah, we watched it the first time and we were like freaking out about it. Like when it came out, like when I found out that you watched Dark, I was like, oh my God, someone else watched Dark. Like I was,
Exactly.
yeah, I just finally watched it after like stumbling upon it so many times on Netflix.
Right.
And then yeah, we just started talking, and it was right before season 3 came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can't talk about season 3 necessarily because
It doesn't exist right
yeah,
now.
yeah, we're only up to what is it, episode? No, episode 8 has been released up to this juncture.
Oh, I see. Okay. Right on. Yes.
Possibly the season finale by now. Anyway, we've been through about a season, and we're about to jump into season 2, and it's a
Yes.
spoiler-free watch through. So if you want to jump into it and not know.
Spoiler free?
Yeah, as
How do
much
you
as we
do that?
as much as like I feel like I'm sure that there's maybe once or twice that it has happened, but we try our best to keep it like even though we know what's going to happen, we try to act as if we are experiencing it with you. So,
Are you guys like doing like Science 3000 stuff? Like
it's
Mystery Science
not quite. It's
commentary?
more
Well, it's not that kind of
more
commentary,
about
but it's that
character.
kind of style,
Yeah, it's more
kind of
character
characterisms.
art. Well, yes. I mean, we are travelers. We are in a sense we have traveled back and forth across the dark time continuum. So in that sense, yes. And then there are the Jonases or younger travelers that join us along the way. We've had one of our main guests is Mel's friend Tim from Germany, who has been able to enlighten us on some of the specific German cultural things that we are missing out on watching the show. And he's really, really loved it. And he just can't wait for us to get further along in the podcast so he can watch more. Because if you've seen any Dark, you know how hard it is to stop watching.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, so we've had a lot of fun watching the first season together again, and second season we're gonna try to get a couples on. I think that's our goal. So I guess if you are a couple out there that really enjoys Dark, hit me up on Twitter at the Revolver. No, you know what? Fuck that. Go to the Album Concept Hour Twitter. Actually, Album Concept PD, I think, is what it is. And let me know because we want to talk about Dark. But tonight we are not talking about Dark. Tonight we are talking about one of Mel's favorite things in the whole wide world.
Whole wide world.
And that is K-pop, specifically BTS.
Yeah.
Now, let's start with first of all, what does BTS stand for? Do you know that offhand? I do have
I cannot pronounce the Korean way to say it, but basically, when translated to English, means Bulletproof Scout.
Okay. And I've
And the
also
Bulletproof, yeah,
I was about to say I've also seen also known as Bangtan Boys.
yeah, that's like their short code name, I guess. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, code name.
I've noticed a lot of the K-pop vocal groups are like a lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
6 to 10.
Yeah, this is 7
usually.
Yeah, this is 7 people for BTS.
Yeah.
7 is pretty normal in K-pop groups. I follow a different group called 17, and they have 13 members in it right now.
This is a good album for our introduction into K-pop.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you're coming into this looking for a comparison, you might think of like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys back in the early 2000s or something. Because that's when
I can see that. Yeah.
Because that's when like
that's exactly what it sounds
a boy
like.
band that danced and sang and did everything was
Right.
really
R&B, mixed with a little R&B in there.
Boys to Men.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh, hells yeah.
But for us, it I feel like 5 was about as far as
That's
many
where we
members.
were at. Was 3 to 5.
Yeah, like
depending upon your group.
Yeah, much more than 5, and it was
that was kind of a precedent that they set with like Motown back in the day. Doo-wop groups in general from the 50s. It's usually 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Like, we like to stay with our precedents, and that's why we kind of always have
we do like
4
5.
to 5 for a band.
I feel like 5 is kind of the magic number here in the U.S. For some reason. But yeah, they have 7. But they have 7 members, and so you want to let's do it this way, Mel. How about we list the members in order of your least favorite to most favorite. Is that possible, or is that heartbreaking?
I'm a Southern stan. I cannot like.
You can't you can't
Like that.
decide between them.
They
Yeah.
they all hold a special place in my heart.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Well,
Although I do have a bias.
okay, okay. What's the bias then?
So my bias is Jin. He's the oldest one.
Okay, okay. So that's Jin. Okay, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's the oldest one. His nickname is Worldwide Handsome. He's my fave.
Worldwide Handsome.
Oh yeah.
Nice. That's
That's
a good nickname. Yeah,
Yeah.
Then I'm just gonna list the other members though. You want to tell me a quick bit about each one? Because it's like
Sure.
they are like that's something about this group that's kind of important to them is their kind of individual identities as well as being a part of a group, right? Like
That's important. Whoop whoop. Always stand for that. If you're ever in a group,
what?
always keep your voice.
Hold on, Mel's shaking your head. What do you say? What do you think, Mel?
In Korean culture, I think it's more they share the stage. They're not like as individualistic as like I would say Americans are.
Yeah, we definitely do that a lot.
They definitely see themselves as a team, and they all have their different times to shine.
So
But
there's
they
not
really
like T-shirts of like one guy or the other
you have T-shirts of each
or
guy.
yeah.
As
Uh-huh.
far as the group dynamic,
Mm-hmm.
there isn't like one or two that really want to steal the spotlight.
Oh yeah, yeah. I definitely don't see any of the ego stuff at all.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it seems like it's very much a group dynamic.
It's part of the Korean pop, not just BTS, but most pop groups. The way they do their choreography, when they choose who sings different songs, they really do share a lot and rotate, and it's more collective in that sense, perhaps.
Yeah. For instance, the first thing that you showed me for BTS was their appearance on not Jimmy Kimmel. Jim yes. And they did it all in like black and white and like they did it in the style of the Ed Sullivan show, like when the Beatles came over from Britain. And it was an amazing performance. Like just the fact of breath control that I was thinking about the whole time. I was like, you guys are like basically doing like full on exercises and singing these and hitting these notes.
Yeah.
So
That's a huge part of the Korean pop appeal. It's a whole package. It's not just vocals. It's the dancing.
Yeah.
The facial expressions. Like if they know they're trying to evoke a certain feeling, they're going to act. And if it's a sad song,
can you talk about that a little bit, like the facial expression thing?
Yeah,
because I think that's something that was maybe absent from maybe NSYNC and all them.
Sure. I feel like in a way some Korean pop is more theatrical in the sense of they're trying to share and evoke a feeling through not all songs, but it's a powerful ballad. They're really going to get lost and really act the part so that you really feel the lyrics. Like they really pay attention to mood and the words and what they mean, and then they want to evoke that.
Yeah. And I was really glad that Genius had translation for these because like they are great lyrics. And,
I really that's another part of BTS I really like is it's a very collaborative process.
Yeah.
But RM, Suga, J-Hope, those are the three rappers in the group.
Oh, okay. So those guys are in particular more into the rap.
Yeah, so in Korean pop terms, I guess, you have a vocal line and a rap line.
What?
So the vocal line would be
sounds
like
cool.
the singers who really do well with a broad range of singing, ballads to rock, whatever.
Okay.
Whereas a rap line, they they're really, really good at rapping, but they might not have like the best singing voice
Hmm.
compared to the vocal line.
Well,
And
I
then
think that's
you have a visual line
yeah.
sometimes
Hmm.
and a dance line. It's a
Well, I
whole
think
production.
that's why that's part of what it connects it to like American hip hop because like in the way that they put their groups together, it's like they are looking for all these different elements of the
Hmm.
puzzle to put together. Like I mean,
Right.
the most famous one I can think of is like the Wu-Tang Clan, of course. But
Hmm.
like, just utilizing the various talents
Yep.
around you into and putting them all into one thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, because this album goes kind of all has a lot of elements to it. It's not just a pop album. It's not just a hip
Right.
hop album. Uh, it's got a lot of influences that
Yeah. And
it's grappling
I
with.
want to add that this was, I believe, in 2017. This
Yeah,
album,
yeah.
and so they've been a band now for since 2014. So as they've
Wow.
grown and evolved, they have different eras, I guess I'll say.
Yeah,
Like the first era was way more rap heavy and almost rock like. They had more of a swag kind of vibe and a
yeah.
lot about being against authority and,
Uh
you
huh.
know, being beaten down by society and not
Yeah.
wanting to be
That's often the first stage.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of where they went, and then the next era, is it the Butterfly series? There's two of them called Young Forever, two
Okay,
albums, and it's
okay.
kind of like the innocence of youth and the challenges of being young and and mental health and
Uh
like
huh. Yeah.
so. And then the next era, I think, would be the Wins era.
Okay.
And that one was a little more mature. It's singing about like what is love like when you're younger,
Yeah,
what's real,
yeah.
what's not, fake love, and lots of like self-destructive
Uh-huh,
things.
uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kind of with young love comes with
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
and then the era after that is the one this starts is
So
the Love Yourself era.
this is the fourth era. This is like
I guess,
after so
yeah,
after learning, going through like the adolescence and learning that, there's
sure,
the hardships of love, it's
right,
getting to the love yourself stage, which is
yeah,
like what every middle-aged adult needs.
sure, yeah. So
Um,
this is more like being like, okay, I went through a lot, and now I want to enjoy life, and
yeah.
I'm cool, and I
Yeah.
have agency, and
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
express myself,
I could see that.
and yeah.
Yeah.
So this one is, I think, a little bit more light for them, because then the next two in this era, Love Yourself, Her, Answer, and
Yeah,
I
there's a
forget.
trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that so this is like the start so the fourth era has a trilogy, and is that the
Uh-huh.
whole fourth era?
I mean,
Or is that how far
that's
they've gotten?
that's loosely defined, and then after that era would be the Map of the Soul era, where they're
Mm,
much more getting away from love and life and like looking into like philosophy
that's
and
pretty cool.
ego
Yeah.
and shadow and the price of fame. What does that mean? And so it definitely has gotten more. Their concepts have matured as they grow as well.
Interesting. So it's like I mean, so this is like very conceptual of like as far as like what we do, like this is right up the alley of like the album concept hour because
Oh yeah, exactly. I
it
was like,
sounds like their
this is
whole
the beginning of one of the
discography
concepts.
is a concept. So
Yep.
we're like kind of taking this big timeline and like we're
Hmm.
zooming in on like one part of their
Exactly.
growth. So um we should get into the first track though,
Yeah.
and then we can talk more
Yeah.
about it. And yeah, this first track is intro serendipity.
푸른 곰탕이 날 구원해준 나의 나의 천사 나의 세상 난 네 삶.
You ever heard of Imogen Heap? It's
Yes.
like the what you say.
Oh yeah, I have.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, John.
Yes, I do.
But yeah, this song in particular reminded me of Imogen Heap, which is like a
It's
really
very clean.
very clean, very clean
clean.
electronic pop. You know, good.
Mhm.
You'd like Imogen Heap, I think. But yeah, like starting off really strong. Like this one is who is this? Jimin, yeah. Because I guess several albums have intros that are solo songs.
Yeah, it depends on the album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like in a different
That's good.
album.
yeah. It's nice to do solo every now and again. You know.
Yeah. They do have like this isn't a full album. It's called an extended play, probably because it's a trilogy. But
Yeah,
sometimes when they have more standalone albums, like the Map of the Soul, all 7 of them have a solo in that album.
okay. Yeah, I
And
mean,
plus unit songs.
yeah, I feel like almost by U.S. record standards, this is like 2 EPs. You know what I mean? Which is almost just a full album. Like it feels like the amount of content that a full album would, entail. But there have definitely been EPs I've listened to that are like way, way long because there's just so many B-sides, you know?
Right, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, this seems like it definitely has stages, like I feel like there's like kind of 2 halves to this album that are like just different.
Yeah.
Like very clearly, like there's a clear delineation between the like kind of pop side and the hip hop side of this album. But yeah, and it's a nice, kind of this one I think starts with like he's talking about like I think it's more mature love, talking about like how, you are my destiny, like the universe, like kind of put us together kind of stuff.
Yep.
Just really like, nice simple kind of love tune, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but with like really like nice imagery for the wording.
Definitely.
Yeah. I notice they say the universe a lot. They talk about the universe.
They have a lot of songs kind of related to like one song is called Moon.
Yeah.
Another song is Microcosmos.
Okay.
They like to allude to the heavenly
The cosmos.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like this line, like maybe it's the providence of the universe. It just had to be that, I know, you are me, I am you. So he's like saying right there, like, not only are we destined to be together, but like we are each other.
Yeah.
I know, we know, we were meant for each other, and it's fine.
Exactly. It's so nice. It's a nice sentiment, And I also like it when a dude is like comfortable with being like as much as my heart flutters, stuff like that,
Yeah.
They're sensitive dudes.
Yeah, I definitely like that about K-pop as well.
Of course, they're sensitive dudes. That's the pop
It's
formula.
much more fluid in Korea. Korean men and women wear makeup regularly.
That's right.
I know. I've
that.
seen.
Yeah, you were telling me about
I've heard
that.
about that.
Well, you were telling me like it's almost more so men in a way.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And their clothes are much more fluid. That's another part of what I love about BTS is they wear things with sparkles or that are over here would be considered strictly feminine.
That that really works with millennial culture, I think. You know what I mean? Like cause,
millennial culture eats that up.
Yeah, well, like, yeah, I mean,
because it's so repugnant.
Well, it's
to
repressed.
the former's generation. Yes, repressed. Exactly.
Yeah. Like as a dude or a girl, there's the standards for fashion. We all know them.
Right.
And you cross that line a little bit, and some people aren't cool with it.
Right.
But there though it's like, I mean, I guess like in, Japan it's somewhat similar in the sense that there's like high fashion regardless of gender. Like
Right.
people just like to dress up and look cool.
Yeah.
And I think that it I'm trying to remember the big K-pop song that everyone knows.
Gangnam Style?
Gangnam Style. Yeah.
Gangnam Style.
Yeah.
Whoop, Gangnam Style.
Yeah. So that is, if anyone is, wants to know, that is K-pop. That is like, the most famous one that most, US people will have heard.
I was just explaining to my dad tonight what we were doing, and I was like, "Do you remember that Whoop of Gangnam Style?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
If you
Yeah,
need to,
that's what we're doing.
If you need to,
But it's not
explain
that,
this
because
to
it's
your
the
family,
finer points of it. But that's the worldwide one.
or I was
It's the
about to say,
one even you would know.
if you need a more recent example, K-pop music and stars were flooding racist Twitter hashtags with K-pop videos. It was the hashtag White Lives Matter, but like they were flooding it with K-pop videos. So anyone that was like being racist about like white nationalist stuff
Mhm.
was being flooded with K-pop. So you may have caught a little bit during that whole thing. And for me, like, I do got to say, like, I am, in junior high and high school, I was a big anime fan, so therefore I was a big fan of the J-pop.
Oh,
So
Brad, I was gonna say this
Yeah.
is just the next wave of like when we were kids. Power Rangers. What was that?
yeah,
that
it's
was
true.
that
It
was
like,
Japanese American fusion.
that's true.
That was literal.
You know,
it
weird-
wasn't even a joke
Weird
because
enough-
it was like it was so patchwork.
Yeah, weird
was
enough,
so
Power
patchwork.
Rangers is very applicable here because, like,
It's
it is
extremely applicable.
Yeah, it is the fusing of cultures.
It's kind of like the first K-pop.
Yeah, well, and
It's
so
literal, but it's so patchwork.
well, I was
You
into
watch those.
So one of my first experiences in it was with Kingdom Hearts. Utada Hikaru did the theme for Kingdom Hearts, and I just loved it. We watched it over and over again, and I got her like one of her full albums, Ultra Blue. That's probably what this reminds me of the most, besides the American stuff. But just really, really good, just production and pop music and everything. And I was really
I love that song, by the way. I used to listen to it
Simple and
all the
Clean?
time in college.
Simple and Clean. You guys know the one. But yeah, so those are all of the touchstones of these things. J-pop obviously isn't K-pop. They are different. There's a nuanced differences. Like K-pop, I think, is more early 2000s American pop, but better.
Sounds a little better. It's
Yeah,
a little
it's-
more refined.
Yes.
What do you expect out of
Yes,
second generation?
I agree.
American pop.
I'd be okay with some, NSYNC types coming back in this style. I would be very
Me too.
cool with it. Yes.
I would be I would listen to it as well.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's move on to the next one. This one is I think one that people may have heard. So if any of them on this album you have heard, this is probably going to be the one because I recognized it. This is DNA and not the Kendrick Lamar song.
애초부터 내 심장은 널 향해 두니까 걱정하지 말라 이 모든 건 우연이 아니니까 우리 완전 달라
Now that just makes you want to move.
See, this is how I know this is so American influence. I don't even I can fall into it. I can close my eyes
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just so familiar.
Well,
There's nothing invasive about it whatsoever.
Yeah. And I was about to say, like, I like reading the lyrics along with it. I'm like, man, I do definitely want to listen to more BTS and read the lyrics as I listen. Because I'm a lyrics guy, you know? Like, I need the context.
See, I'm a music guy. The
yeah.
lyrics need to catch me,
Yeah,
but I will always listen to a good beat.
Uh-huh. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And this is like a really, like, you could definitely hear this on, American radio and
This is Z104.
barely even notice
This
that
is
it's
so
not in
good,
English.
but this is good Z104.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the one
It's
that's
weird.
on that like makes you like bounce your head whether or not you know what it is.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one, Mel? Is this one that you consider one of the better ones or more famous ones, or what do you
Well,
think?
it's definitely one of the more famous ones. I
Okay,
think
it
it's
is.
their
Okay.
first one to hit 1 billion views on YouTube.
That's a lot of views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
Even for
a
popular
lot of
people.
views.
That's how you catch the world stage.
Yeah. Dang. Like I don't know a whole lot of videos that have 1 billion views, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really popular.
It definitely takes worldwide to do that.
And I think this is when they started entering the American consciousness.
Okay.
Because they were on the billboards.
Uh-huh.
And more people got to see them perform on like late night shows too.
Yeah, there was definitely like a kind of, I don't know if it was a small following here that was like really passionate or like what, but like
those are the best.
We made it, it happened, and they came to America, and like everyone like was really really stoked about it, like, and I'm sure that was
knew about how awesome they were.
Yeah. Well,
America is a hard nut to crack.
Yeah. Well, I think like like we were saying, like about it being kind of harkening back to early 2000s pop, which is, I mean, in my opinion, the golden age of pop. And I know I'm biased as hell because that's where I grew up. But like I think that was when, peak both production, like, vocals being, shared.
I would say
Motown, maybe.
No, I would agree with you, because by the time we get to the 2000s, pop had acquired just about every taste. Yeah. So what you were hearing on the pop stations like Z104 wasn't just the same thing over and over again. You were getting a really good taste of everything and everything that you heard.
That's true. It wasn't.
Think about like 2004 radio.
It wasn't just like pop and pop only. It was like pop rock.
Pop, oh yeah, you would get like Green Day pop, and the same breath as like Bring Me to Life. What was it? Evanescence. Like that nice that metal guy. Touch.
Yeah.
You know, in the same breath as like I Write Sins, Not Tragedies.
That's true. You know? That must have been a
we had a really good rotation when we were kids.
Man,
and
people working at radios back then must have been very confused week to week.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't understand. All of these trends are happening at the same time.
All of a sudden, one minute I'm playing Write Sins, Not Tragedies, and then the next you're playing Dixie Chicks. I'm not ready to play tonight.
You mean the Chicks, right?
Yes, you're right.
the Chicks.
Dixie Chicks forever.
Yeah. Oh shit. Should I go back and change the episode title? I forgot.
I don't think you have to. I don't think it matters. Probably is not the worst idea.
Because it was before the change, so I feel like it does. It's
there's no shame on. You can't shame the past. We all accepted them as the Dixie Chicks. They changed their name for the good of it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I will accept your change. Exactly. But I'm sorry. I grew up calling you the Dixie Chicks. I'm gonna slip.
It's totally fine, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what much more to say, but this brings in, I was gonna say though, the theme stuff, it brings in like the last song they were talking about how they were like kind of destined to be together, and then this brings up the other more scientific way to say that, which is like, you're in my DNA.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But this has a little bit of everyone. I don't think we mentioned all the names of everyone yet.
Would you like me to, or?
Sure. Yeah, list them off.
All right. I'll go from oldest to youngest.
Oh, you have them aged too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say their ages. I'm just going to say their 7 names in order.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
And I'm just going to call them by their nicknames and not they have nicknames, stage names, and then their real names. It depends. So anyway, the oldest is my bias. That's Jin. The next one would be Suga. The next one would be J-Hope. Then RM. Then Jimin. Then Lee. Then Jungkook. So those are the 7 members. Jungkook is the youngest.
Do you know how young the youngest one is?
He just had his birthday in September. 23, 22.
Okay. Still a pup.
Yeah.
Still a young pup.
Yeah, and Jin is 28, 29.
Okay. Oh, so they're pretty close in age.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's actually like the Wu-Tang's age discrepancy too.
Huh.
I feel like there's not too much of a gap there.
Right.
Except for ODB, of course. Old dirty bastard.
Ah.
But yeah, this is kind of like a nice introduction to each member of the group, because there's a lot of solo sections.
Yeah.
There are 7 people, so you'd have to do a few listens through to probably distinguish them apart.
Yeah,
from
you
one
can
another.
find YouTube analytics of who gets the most lyrics and who doesn't. Like,
yes.
you can quantify anything.
That's true.
So I've seen them.
They do have those charts that are like, which rappers use the most words?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, great. I think it was a great introduction to it. If you're not familiar with this kind of music, you do hear English words every now and again in the middle of Korean words, just because of the way that it sounds. I'm assuming, right?
They've been doing that. So BTS, I think, is the 3rd generation of K-pop.
Yeah, there's a lot. They've been doing it. Like J-pop always had like maybe one line of English in a song.
Sure. Yeah, I think Korean music, they just like to have a catchphrase here and there, or and they really do. At least BTS really looks at the English translations as well, and they write when they add English to the Korean, they try to make sure it still works together.
Oh yeah, actually, there is one clip that I picked that emphasizes that. I noticed that, and I was very excited because I like puns.
Okay, yeah,
I like puns, and so cross language puns is like next level.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a later track. But we'll get on to the next one, which is Best of Me. So this is Best of Me.
You got the best of me. You got the best of me.
This makes me want to pick up some glow sticks and
I like that you picked that clip. I like that you picked that clip a lot because it reminds me of like that MGMT era of like techno music, like electronic music. But it's just it takes me back.
Yeah, it's got a nice groove to it. Yeah. Because like that's the thing. It's not just early 2000s. It's like also like some of the poppiest songs I think are like early 2000s, but like they go all.
These guys were listening to our music for 10 years.
Yes, and
that's
straight
hip-hop, from like R&B. 2000 to like 2010 is what I'm hearing.
I was gonna say, Mel, do you know? Do they talk about that specifically in any of the interviews you've seen? Like their maybe particular influences from American music?
Oh yeah, they've definitely referenced it. Although I feel we're being very Western centric right now.
Very much so.
And I was like, they also listen to their own native.
Absolutely. I'm not
Yes.
saying that at all. I'm
Yeah.
saying it sounds like a really good fusion,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
my opinion. I'm
Yeah.
sorry
No,
if I was
I'm
coming
not
off
saying
that
it
way.
as an offensive thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just when they're encountered by the Western media and that kind of
Oh, we did it.
overbearing,
We did
Yeah.
it. We
Well, for me,
we encroached over the world.
like when
yeah.
they were when they were called like the new Beatles in one interview, RM leaned over. He's like, "But we're BTS. We're not like we're our own thing."
Yes,
Or
the
like
Beatles is our number one comparison in the West, I think. It's our
yeah,
Yeah,
go-to for
but
it's our
it's
go-to.
like our
when you deep
musical Hitler.
dive, there's
What?
a lot of there's more similarities in terms of popularity
Yeah.
and accessibility,
Yeah.
perhaps, and their way that they have been able to mature and evolve and write different music
Mhm.
as they've been,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, getting into the field
Yeah.
because they're pretty seasoned now at
Oh,
7 years.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so they've set their own goals and have
Yeah, yeah. Well,
it,
my
it's
my
a
my
it's
bigger comparison is to like big hip hop stars with them. Like that's who I think about very much more so than the Beatles.
sure,
Because like the production style is I think what takes most after that, and like the rapping here and there, which
mm,
like it is yeah, definitely from a Western perspective, but I've always like been one of those questions in my head. It's like because like American hip hop is so to me so American. It's so very
sure,
much like born and bred here. But that being said, like it's also one of the most universal musics in the world. Like it is,
yeah,
accessible in
and
all
they
continents.
incorporate a lot of black music into their music,
Yeah.
but when they do, they have hired black artists or musicians,
Oh, really? Cool.
etc.
Nice. They're ethical too.
So they're very aware of how they're consumed by the culture
Mhm.
and giving due where it needs to be. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
they're very thoughtful in that sense,
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely. That's really cool. I'm glad
Hmm.
that they think about that kind of thing because a lot of American artists don't have
Well,
a great history with
racism
it.
in America is very unique to us, and
Yeah.
you have to remember they're living in a society where they're the majority.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm sure
So,
I'm sure they deal with their own types of racism, but it's
sure,
different.
yeah,
Yeah, different.
but it's not the same at all.
No, we have a real specific
We have
flavor
our
over
own
here. Yeah, yeah. If you've
American
been
versions.
paying attention to the last couple of weeks, we don't have to get into it. But I like that this song. So continuing off of the first couple of songs, the first one has the like destiny and the universe was
Mhm,
meant to put us together. Then there's the DNA
right.
thing, and then this one is like saying like you're like the whole world to me.
Yeah.
So it's again, I think like all three of these are so far very romantic,
Mhm.
very like but in a mature way. You know.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. Like, because there's, the kind of stuff that you would say to someone that you're maybe marrying or something.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
would think, but I don't
Right.
know the earlier stuff they've done. So,
Mhm.
um, but yeah, no, that's just great. I'm trying to find any like particular like lyrics, but oh yeah, they mention what was it? Day by day, summer, winter, even if you may be unaware, you got the best of me. They mention the seasons.
Mhm.
You're my savior. You're my window. Yeah, it's a lot of really nice stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. When you listen to this, do you usually read the lyrics along with it, or do you just jam out?
If it's a new song, I'll probably listen to it without the lyrics, just
Okay.
to get an initial
Yeah.
wash,
Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
And then I'll listen to it with the lyric video,
Mm-hmm.
which I really appreciate. And then if the osmosis, I just know them all. And
Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah.
have a general sense of each song and what they
Mm-hmm.
generally mean.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Visit if I want as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say because I mean, yeah, I feel like once you understand the general gist of it, it's like, yeah,
Right.
you can listen over and over and over.
Yeah.
Well, it's just good pop music.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be insulting at all when I say that.
Exactly.
I
No,
am a
yeah.
fan of pop music.
Good
Oh
pop.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this is
Exactly.
good pop music.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this next song is a really a nice story to it. It was written by RM, who said that he wanted to sing it because he wanted to sing this song because he has dimples.
He does. You can follow him
Yes.
to them.
Yes. There's a little GIF or GIF here, depending on what camp you're in. And yeah, he's got big dimples.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this song is called Dimples. Or Dimple, sorry.
I was gonna say it's simple.
Yeah, that's odd, but Dimple.
But I want it anyway, anyway, anyway. 내게는 없었어, 너에게만 있었어. 이렇게 힘든 걸까? 빠져주고 싶어.
Oh no. Stop. Yeah, Dimple. This is the song. This was okay. So this is probably the song that I enjoyed the lyrics for the most. And let me explain what I mean. the main line for this song is that Dimple is illegal. And I just like, I don't know. I just like the extreme, like, I don't know. They're overemphasizing the importance of this dimple to the point that it's almost ridiculous. But yeah, that dimple should be illegal. Like, you have such a good smile. It should be like against the law. You know, it's just fun. It's just a fun song. Yeah. But I was confused about it at first, though. I was like, wait, what is he saying? The dimple is...
You know, you got to have those fun songs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All music has to have those fun songs.
Yeah, it's just about, you know,
can't
smiling.
just be about can't be serious about everything, you know.
Yeah,
it's like Weird Al. That's why we love Weird Al.
It's almost
can't be serious about everything.
Dude, he dyed his hair, man. He dyed his hair purple. That's wild, man. I've never seen Weird Al dye his hair.
Did I not show you? Oh man, there's this comedy humor thing I gotta tell you about later.
Okay,
all right. Go on.
But yeah, I like that. What was it? The dimple is illegal, but I want it anyway. It's a lot like this whole song is kind of like a lot of pickup lines.
Yeah,
almost.
basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's like just a strew of pickup line. Like, your existence alone is a crime. What is it? A mistake made by an angel? Like, yeah. It's like consciously cheesy. I think they know what they're doing, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I really had fun with this one. Which one? Do you have a favorite of this album, Mel? And has it come up?
It hasn't come up yet.
It hasn't come up yet. Okay. Then I think I might know which one it is. I'll let you know later if we'll quiz you later to see if I was correct.
All right.
But yeah, it's another, like I said, the first half of this is a lot of like really great pop songs, kind of love songs. This one included. And I do think it's silly though too that it's just dimple singular.
If you watch the choreography, it's part of the choreography to point at one when they're dancing. That might be part of it.
Wait, was this one of the ones that was played on Colbert?
No, this one, I don't think this one has been performed stateside, but they
Okay.
have a lot of live videos from their concerts doing it.
Oh, which you've seen, right? You've actually
Of
been to one
course.
of the live performances during this
I
pandemic,
watched
right?
all of these music videos today in preparing for today.
Oh, nice, nice. And you had to get up really early, right, to watch the concert in line with everything?
Oh, well, I did 2 BTS online concerts. The first one was in June, and then the second one was last month. And I had to get
Nice.
up for the second one. I think it was like 5 a.m.
Wow. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
it's
it
all
was
the
worth it,
way,
obviously.
on the other side of the world. So, yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Totally worth it. They're phenomenal
yeah,
performers.
yeah.
So
And were there a lot of people at the show? Like because of
they're,
their
they're,
numbers are
they
down, right?
they probably set a record again. I know they set the Guinness record for the first concert with the most virtual attendees.
Okay. Wait.
So
Was that Gangnam Style?
no, I'm talking about the live concerts.
Oh, okay, okay. I did see a really big Gangnam Style like live video where it was
Oh,
like it just kept zooming out and there was just like the crowd like was just all over the city.
oh no, I'm talking about during pandemic.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. That wouldn't. Yeah, it's true. That wouldn't happen quite so much right now.
well,
Um,
if it wasn't for the pandemic, I would have seen them in Chicago. I bought my tickets and
I
everything.
know if it wasn't for the pandemic, I would have seen Run the Jewels live with Rage Against the Machine. But you know, the Kalama vote was pretty good. So if you want, YouTube that was the live show. So yeah, there's a lot of good live stuff coming out on the internet. We got stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, there's still things, guys. Speaking of being a fan of something, this next track is a great transition actually between the two sides of the album, and then we'll take a break after we discuss it.
Okay.
This is Pied Piper.
이미 시작된 걸 알잖아. 그 소리를 듣게 된 순간 어쩌면 그래 나는 조금 위험해.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It's
Just rolling right into that rap, huh?
yeah, yeah. It reminds me of like Daft Punk, kind of.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, that's a really good comparison.
yeah, yeah.
Actually,
Like it's just the tiniest bit of like an electronic thing on the voice,
Right.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Like the album that's got the anime movie, like that's the album that kind of that era of Daft Punk. But yeah, yeah. Oh, so the song, Pied Piper, the Genius Notes are telling me, is about roughly it's about the fandom of BTS and the idea that they shouldn't get so wrapped up in their fandom of BTS that they reject their responsibilities. So it's a very responsible song for a famous band like this to have,
Yeah,
honestly.
it's very tongue in cheek.
Yeah, yeah. It, yeah. I was about to say that it's kind of a Beatles move, but then I was like, yeah, it's kind of my Western lens. But yeah, there are some artists though where it comes to a time where like they need to address the crowd because like, yo, you guys, this is fun and all, but you guys got to chill out. We're not gonna completely change the world. I mean, we can do what we can, but yeah. Um, so yeah, and I don't know what the fandom's like over there as compared to over here. I know that we have like kind of a celebrity worship type of deal going on.
Sure.
if you really love a celebrity in the U.S., you're like all about that celebrity.
Right. Yeah.
So, what do you think the difference is between cultures in that sense, Mel? Do you think you have a sense of that?
I probably have a lot of biases because I'm part of their fandom, which is called
That's
Army.
true. You are part of the army, so I don't know if we can
I am part of the
trust
Army.
your
I was
opinions on the
inducted
Pied Piper.
April
But
12th, 2019.
when was the first time you listened to BTS?
I actually had heard them before I got into them, but it was like a really deep B-side song
Okay.
of theirs, so I didn't know it was theirs until a lot later.
Okay. Okay.
So I kind of heard of them a bit before I really got into them.
Okay.
But when the video dropped on April 12th, 2019, Boy
Mhm.
With Love with Halsey,
Yeah.
after that, I was in. I was like, yep, alright.
Yeah. I mean, I do kind of remember when you discovered them because yeah, it was a big moment for
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
yeah.
It's
I,
gotten you through some times.
oh, yes,
Yeah. BTS.
yeah.
Always good time.
I think that's why they're one of the most famous bands right now in the world because you
Yeah.
feel connected to them. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's like, like I like this line here, like I know you can't help what you like, but stop, interpret the music video later. You have
yeah,
so many pictures of me in your room anyway. It's not just 1 hour, it's a whole year that'll disappear. So he's like really like going into detail. He's like, just it's fine to like other things, guys. You know.
right,
Um
yeah.
so yeah, when we get into the last part of the podcast, I'll have to ask you about maybe some of your other K-pop stars that you're
Sure.
interested in. But yeah, this is like a really nice kind of cap to this half of the album, I think.
Mhm.
Kind of to set you up for the next thing, which is this like it's just it's an excerpt from the Billboard Awards.
Right.
So you actually heard a little bit of it earlier. But yeah, I have the whole speech that they give at the Billboard Awards for you guys after this break that we're going to take. So thank you everybody for joining us for the Album Concept Hour. We will be right back.
A TV series lives three lives. The first ends with the series finale, the second with the rewatch of the series, and the third with the fan commentary podcast that accompanies the rewatch of the series.
It is inevitable that they go through all three stages. The first watch will turn into a rewatch, and a rewatch into what you see before you.
Travelers, a dark podcast.
Season 1 recap now available on Anchor and Spotify. Welcome everybody to the Album Concept Hour podcast. Welcome back, I should say. And I am your host, as always, Brad LeBaron, and we have Virtual John and my sister Mel with us today. And we are covering some K-pop. We are doing BTS, Love Yourself, parentheses, Her. And we're about halfway through the album right now, and we're about to get into track 7? No, 6. Track 6, yes. So without further ado, I'll just roll right into it. This is the Billboard Music Awards speech. So here, here it is.
Army, our fandom, thank you very much. We still cannot believe that we're standing here on this stage at the Billboard Music Awards. Oh my gosh. And it is so great to see all the artists we admire and feel honored to be in this category with such great artists, like right in front of us. It's really honored, and most importantly, this award belongs to the every people all around the world that shine the love and light on us by the millions and make BTS proud really every day. And please, Army, remember what we say, love myself, love yourself. 정말 사랑하고 감사합니다. 저 멋진 방탄소년단 되겠습니다. Thank you, Billboard, for supporting us. Thank you.
If you didn't recognize that sound at the end, it is a mic dropping, but we will get into that in the next track.
The mic drop moment.
Yep. But yeah, Mel, this is something that you specifically mentioned to add to this. Their appearance at the Billboard Awards. And yeah, was this something that you were paying attention to at the time? Or was this still before your encounter with BTS?
Well, this is definitely before my encounter, but I generally have stopped watching a lot of music award shows a long
Well,
time ago.
yeah, I think
So,
they've seen better days.
yeah, so even now I just tune in for BTS and if there's an artist I like,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't usually sit through the entire thing.
uh-huh. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and the Billboard Awards, like I've never watched a Billboard's awards,
Mhm.
but yeah, it is really cool that they gave them a spot and actually, they got to do a speech in front of probably, like they said, the right there, like some people that they're inspired by.
Mhm.
They're excited to be in the same company, which I
Right.
mean that's got to be cool, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
but
but like you said, though, I mean, they had worldwide success before coming to the U.S., right? So
yeah.
they were probably already like on top of the world, before even that. So
For sure.
yeah.
It's a slow build, but for sure.
Hmm.
This is when they won for best social. What was it? Ah.
Social
Top
experience
social artist,
artist.
and they've won this kind of award since then. They they've won a lot of awards.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes, they
they
mentioned
they're
such.
kind of they just admitted their music for the upcoming Grammys to
Oh,
consider. Uh,
that'd be cool.
Sometimes at award shows they've been put into a K-pop category, and a lot
Yeah.
of people get upset because they're like, their music is just as good as another artist. Why are you
Hmm.
separating them and not recognizing them as full artists?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Like
sometimes
almost
that happens.
like in a derogatory sense, almost like that it's
Right,
it's not pop, it's K-pop.
right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But if you were to look at all their accolades and awards
yeah.
internationally, it's ridiculous because
Well,
they're
originally when I heard the term K-pop, I was like,
Mhm.
wait, like J-pop? Like they're just gonna just use the letters? like I was because like J-pop was only popular to like you know anime nerds for the most part
Right,
in the US before like cable internet and that kind of YouTube type of sharing took off.
right,
Um, and then I feel like K-pop came pretty much after the internet age was very established as far as in
yeah,
the Western consciousness.
sure, yeah, I
Um,
agree.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, but it is. I mean, it is every like you said, every bit as good as the pop that we are producing, if not better.
Exactly, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, I think it is in a lot of ways better because of the attention to so many talents that they are
mhm,
wrangling under one umbrella.
yeah, for sure. It's
Yeah,
powerhouse, yeah.
yeah. So,
Mhm.
speaking of powerhouse, though, the next track actually goes right into that. This is called "Mic Drop," and they kind of list off their accolades a little bit. wanted to do one section that was all of them. And I believe that section is all of the members singing together.
Right.
So, yeah. But yeah, like from what we were talking about before, though, like this is a song where they are doing kind of the like typical hip hop thing, which is just like bragging about the like their accolades and how like badass they are, how world like strapping they are. Like they're just going, you know. It's the second half of this album is I will say just coming out of the first half like straight up hip hop. Like the first half is pop, the second half is like just got a lot of really nice like hip hop type beats and verses, and yeah, I definitely enjoy this side. Um, but yeah, no, like it's he's talking about they mentioned Billboard. They even say, "You thought I was gonna fail, but I'm fine. Sorry, sorry, Billboard. Sorry, worldwide." And then yeah, they're aware of the how big they have become, and you know, fucking
No, this was a great way to enter into this episode, and this is a great speech to include because it's good because America is, as of right now, America is the world stage. You know, like
right now.
we
Oh yeah,
we
right
are.
now.
I'm not trying to boast about our stupid influence over the world,
Yeah,
but we really do. When it comes to music, music is like the fluff that comes off of our whole thing.
well, I think
Because music's one of the good things
yeah,
that we do.
we were one of the
You know,
first
we
to
promote.
well, we were one of the first to like commercialize music in that way.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
I think that's part of the reason that like singles and pop music seems to kind of almost be an American export. You know.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is that. It is off that strength, that original. Oh, I can sell that. What do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. I bet we can, if you tour a little bit and I go out and promote for you, I bet we can sell that.
Yeah.
That's the original part of American, quote unquote.
Yeah,
dream,
yeah.
you know,
Well,
like-
yeah, we like to we like to take something, package it into a nice bite-sized piece, and ship it off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's very pop music is very emblematic of
Pop music is part of the machine.
of how America operates.
It's a beautiful, horrible part of the machine.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, this one's very much like it's called Mic Drop, and it's fun because it's the last track ends with a mic drop, and they are just like, they're just feeling themselves, fucking bragging about all the awards they've made, the bags filled with trophies, Anyway, what I really liked about the clip that we chose is actually, you know what? I'm actually gonna explain it and then play it again, just because this is the part that has the pun that goes between languages. So they say Coca-Cola at some point here. See if you can catch it. This sounds very Western, I know, but first couple listens, it's hard to pick them up. Anyway. So in some part of that, they say Coca-Cola. We shoot up just like Coca-Cola. Like, I mean, probably like cocaine reference. But yeah, and then they switch between that and Korean, but it's got the same alliteration. It's got the same consonant usage, and I like that I was able to hear it. I was like, oh, I get it. It's it's a pun, because that's if you've heard any of these episodes, you know that I love me some puns. So, yeah.
The puns are the best.
They are.
Pun
They are.
dance.
It's especially across languages. You know, this is a worldwide pun. You know, but yeah. Really, I really enjoyed this track. It's almost like an intro to a new section of the album. And this next track is called "Go Go Go," and I gotta say, it's a banger. So here's "Go Go Go."
지금은 볕들 때까지 해가 뜰 때까지
That is a very modern sounding track.
Yeah. Never have I been so excited to say YOLO along with someone. They just say it so well, you know? YOLO, 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 hey, YOLO, YOLO, YOLO. Yeah, this is I think for me this is the biggest banger in my opinion. It is just like you said, it's modern, you know, it's got almost a the end almost has a "Who Let the Dogs Out" kind of thing going on, where it's just like repeating the whole thing and like just everyone just like, you know, almost a island kind of sound. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one a lot. I think as far as like this part of the album goes, but yeah, it reminds me of maybe some like Childish Gambino or Migos. Just you know.
Just another beautiful like instance of the worldwide culture of music.
Yeah, because they're taking from like both like they're taking from all eras of hip hop for this production style, and lyrical flow and stuff. So this is like I think they're like you said, John, like one of their most newer production styles, like including the flute. You know, especially in 2017 when this came out. When mumble rap was getting to be a thing. Like
mumble rap.
This flute was really hot for a minute. And it was in a lot of different tracks. I remember. I remember hearing a lot of flute for some reason. I was like, what the fuck? Why is there a bunch of flute in hip hop right now?
Shit was hot.
So yeah, I think that they definitely have their finger on the pulse for what is popular, because I mean, as far as pop music goes these days, I mean, it is a world stage. It is not just segregated to wherever you are in the world necessarily. There's definitely hurdles. Like you have an advantage if you are from the West already and in that machine, but there's fucking great music everywhere. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
This got some more. This is more about them partying than like bragging about their stuff. This is just straight up party song. Would you agree, Mel?
Yeah, and I also think that we're too young to just worry.
Which is a good idea to have.
Yeah, they're aware of their what they want in life and what they want to the happy type of happiness they want to achieve. You know?
I always say revolution is for the young. And I don't mean that like revolution isn't for the old either. I just mean that like it's just easier when you're young. And I mean that in any sort of way possible.
Yeah, I would.
You know?
I would actually.
I'm not saying you have to go and explode a country. I just mean any kind of that. That behavior
I think that I mean, not to get too in the weeds, but like, the young generation should, be who is, deciding what happens next. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We have to trust that each next generation will
knows
figure
what's
it out.
best for each next generation.
Otherwise, why the fuck are we doing any of this? But
bingo.
Yeah. But yeah, they're just taking a break, feeling themselves, more like it's just, I definitely like if they have an album that's mostly this, Mel, I definitely want to hear all of it because I like when they get into like straight up hip hop stuff. So maybe the early stuff, like you mentioned, is probably where I
You'll
want
probably
to.
like her. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I should start there and
Yes.
then move on. Yeah. But yeah, my week goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, gold, gold, gold. Bank account is a pot with no bottom. Yeah. Classic. I got money and I got fame stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any more thoughts about this question or this song before we move on to the next one?
Not really.
It's just fun. It's just a
It's a
fun
fun one. The
tune.
video is really fun. Like
Okay.
we're listening to it and reading the lyrics, but to see them perform these, it definitely adds to like the ironies, the some more subtle, like in jokes, if you will.
Mhm. Well, yeah,
It's
yeah. Is
really
there like connective tissue between the music videos?
oh yeah, like they you can see them kind of roll their eyes or kind
Yeah.
of nudge kind of
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe I should watch some of the actual videos because I mean, they dance, so I mean, I'm sure that there's some crazy cool dance moves
Yes.
happening. So yeah, and yeah, they have a lot of stuff on YouTube. So definitely look that up if you want to know what we're talking about.
Right.
Um, but yeah, this last song, this is the outro. It's called Outro Her, and I forget if this gets back into. No. This is still kind of a hip hop tune. So this is outro her. God damn
Yeah. 늘 그랬듯이 마스크 온 환호로 나 반겨주는 her 그대만의 별 아무 일 없이 빛나면서도 가장 빛날 시간에 난 mask off low star 내 짐을 내려놔 어둠을 즐겨주겠듯이 쏴대는 조명도 없으니.
Now that right there is, I think, my favorite verse in the album. Like that is like straight up like old school hip hop, like rapping or early '90s hip hop or something.
So Shuda, who did that part,
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
he's also he has a solo name,
Okay.
August, so he does his own mixtape stuff independently.
Oh, okay. Nice. So he goes on and does like his own straight up like hip hop stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and so far RM has done a couple of mixtapes, Suga has done a couple, and J-Hope has done one. And
Okay.
those are the three rappers.
Okay.
And a few of the local lines are working on their own mixtapes as well.
You see,
Yeah.
that's why I say it's more Wu-Tang than Beatles. Because like yeah, Beatles did do their solo stuff, but like Wu-Tang like is a collective, always was a collective and still is, but they all have their solo endeavors to hone their own craft.
Well, see, that was kind of like an ideal of like rap collectives.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of something they strived for.
Yeah.
Like that they would always be together, but if they did some separate stuff, that was never a big deal. But
well, I think
they were always part of who they were.
I think that's the big strength of hip hop in general. The hip hop community is that it's so from the ground up. It's like everyone is helping each other get up further and further on the ladder. It is all about grassroots efforts.
Well, those are always the best. It's always the best movements.
Yeah, and hip hop is full of those stories, and I think that it's good that BTS kind of understands that history. I think of hip hop and how they approach their songwriting. Because like like you said, like if they use beats or something from black artists, they will have black artists come and work on it with them, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I don't know, like, if it's every song, but they
yeah,
definitely are. They try to be as culturally sensitive as they
hmm
can,
yeah,
and,
yeah,
and if they don't, if they get called on it, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to learn from this."
yeah,
And
yeah,
like in an earlier album, they had a song that felt maybe not very nice to women,
yeah.
and when RM heard about that, he hired a feminist professor and talked with her and apologized. And then after that, they were really thoughtful about gender things in their writing
Nice,
music.
nice. The Beastie Boys actually had the same similar kind of story because early
Mm-hmm.
on they had that song like "Girls, Girls, Girls," which is
Sure.
just they had a lot of feminist friends even then, but like a lot of people brought up like, hey, like you guys are like kind of adolescent about women, and they're like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. And yeah, they ended up completely changing their like public persona when it came to how they presented women and talked about women in their music.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that ability to change is really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to art like that, because it is something like you're going to probably put out something ignorant at some point as an artist. And
Always.
to yeah to just not change at
But
all
that's
or
like
like
that's the
not
point, though. Like
yeah
you have to change. Like
yeah
that's
yeah like you shouldn't be the same forever. That's not necessarily the best thing. And yeah, BTS is obviously all about change because they're they seem to be talking about new themes in their lives as they grow older, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see them grow as they go. Um,
grow as they go.
grow as they go, guys. Um, but yeah, that track kind of reminded me of Chance the Rapper a little bit. Little the production and like the flow a little bit reminded me of some Chance the Rapper. Oh, and I like the line here. To me, you are the morning. You woke me up.
Mm-hmm.
Just a really nice, sweet, like you changed. You brought brightness into my life because there's like a lot of talk about darkness in the lyrics of this song. And yeah, it's a nice cap to like almost like hip hop sequel to the like pop intro, you know,
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but similar themes. Um, more of the but yeah, I guess more this song focuses a little more on the like, you know, negative aspects like hey, I'm a broken person and that's a part
Mm-hmm.
of, trying to be with someone. All that good
Those are the
stuff.
things you have to heal,
Yes.
especially in this kind of society that we live in.
Yes.
You always get broken people.
Yes, that's true.
Sometimes you're the broken person, sometimes the other person is, sometimes you're both.
That's true.
It
Yeah,
all depends.
that's true. You can't
And
just you
that's what
can't
the
just
bonding
discount
depends
all
on
the
too.
broken people. I know that it's hard, but
All the broken
all the broken
hearted.
people, where do they all come from? Yeah, I
Hmm.
think that was Paul McCartney was talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean that's I don't. Do you have any more comments on the last track here, Mel or John?
This was a very good album.
Yeah,
I'm really
I
happy we
enjoyed it.
covered it.
Yeah, yeah, good call, Mel.
Thanks.
Um, yeah, it's definitely like it definitely makes me want to listen to more of their stuff. You know,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
like it's yeah, really mature, good production, just yeah, good music, good pop music, not even just
Yeah.
K-pop, just
Exactly.
good
Yeah.
pop music. Exactly. But yeah, before we get out of here, though, we have one more segment we like to get around to, and that is, what are we listening to? So I'll just start this time. I just got done listening to Run the Jewels live YouTube video show, which is Run the Jewels 4, start to finish, with some live guests. Some guests are on like a screen. It's really, really cool. If you like Run the Jewels at all, check it out.
Shout out to Adult Swim.
Yeah, shout out to Adult Swim in general for just like being the coolest. And
no, seriously, they were on a commercial. I think I texted you when I saw it.
Oh yeah, nice. Well, Eric Andre hosts their special as well. So I mean, it is like the most Adult Swim thing ever. Because yeah. So yeah, that's the main thing that I listened to. I listened to some Chicano Batman the other day. Mostly since we are recording this in remember the 5th of November. I'm just trying to listen to like positive stuff that I love. So I've been just kind of going down the greatest hits of my stuff. Some Felix Culpa too, which will be on the podcast at some point. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. We got Travelers, a Dark podcast we mentioned up at the top. Me and Mel have 4 or 5 episodes out now. Probably 5 when this one comes out. And we're about to do season 2 and 3. So if you haven't seen Dark, the Netflix show, watch Dark and then listen to our podcast and watch it with us. What about you, John? We'll do John and then Mel. John, what do you?
Alrighty, so I have been listening to some Smashing Pumpkins, as it is their 25th, 1996, 2021, 25th anniversary coming up next year of one of my personal favorite albums,
That's
Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness.
We've been talking about
they
it a
will
lot.
Be doing a they will be doing a follow-up album that will be the 3rd in the series.
Wait, they're making a new album?
Yeah, they will be doing a new album next year.
That is a follow-up to Melancholy.
It's a follow-up because there's another.
Wow.
I'm kind of drunk.
We'll look it up.
I cannot remember what the second album.
Google it.
There's
guys.
a second album that's kind of like a sequel to it. They're doing a 3rd follow-up to it.
Well, Google knows.
Nice. Otherwise, I've also been watching the Challenger series on Netflix, and that's really cool.
Nice.
So, you should watch that. Otherwise, we will be having a series coming up here about the states and the songs, and we're going to be starting with a little
side B,
little known album called City Side B, a little known album called Hotel California.
Yes.
But might not be the start of the album, but we will be doing a crossover at least, or something to do with it.
Yes, there is
the plan.
a side podcast in the works. I know we've teased it for a long time, Side B, but it is coming. I promise you.
It is coming. Dun, 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 dun.
Down, 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 down. What about you, Mel? What have you been listening to recently, and what are your other favorite K-pop stars besides BTS? Oh no.
The Dark Tower series.
Oh, the books?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Kevin's listening to him too.
I know, I got him into it.
Yes.
It's
the Dark Tower. I love the Dark Tower so much.
I listened to The Drawing of the Free first, and now I'm listening to Gunslinger.
What?
So
Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it that way?
It just happened that way.
Okay,
so.
all right. That's fine. It's like you're reading it like Narnia, like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, then the Magician's Nephew.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, I'm hoping Kevin will continue to like it, then he'll continue to buy them.
He seems
Otherwise, I'll buy
to
them.
dig it so far, so I think he'll get into it.
As long as we're talking about book series, um, the what the wise man fears.
What the wise man
Dexter
fears.
in the King Killer Chronicles.
Oh, I've heard the King
Look it
Killer
up.
is a good one. It's a fantasy.
Yes, the second book
series.
is just as good.
Yeah.
It's a little dragging on, but the quality stands up.
Okay.
And I am super excited for the third book, which will be coming out hopefully soon.
Okay. Nice. What else, Mel? What have you been jamming on?
K-pop, 18, 17, Mamamoo. There's so many.
Okay.
Well,
you gave me at least 3 to look up, so.
I've been listening to K-pop and watching Korean dramas for 11 years.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. You're cutting out. You're cutting out this second, but I know. Yeah, you've been watching Korean dramas for a long time, probably before you were even so into like K-pop, right?
Yeah, the dramas were the big draw for the longest of times, and now it's back to both worlds.
Yeah.
I consume Korean music, and I still watch my dramas, and of course I watched Running Man.
Yeah.
Every Sunday night.
That's true. You've seen all of them, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, one of these days we gotta get you over to Korea. Like I don't know, well, sometime after this pandemic, when other countries are accepting us, we can.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, we gotta get you over there. But
and there's a band that's training to debut at the end of November. They're called In Hyphen. Yeah.
Okay.
I always say that.
They're like
It's kind of
planning
like
to
the word
debut.
hyphen, but without the ph, just pen.
Okay, so they're planning to debut, so everyone knows they're going to debut.
Yeah, they've already released 2 trailers about their music video.
Are any of the people in the band like famous from before this?
So these are young debuts. The oldest is 19, I think, and the youngest is 15.
Okay.
So they won a music contest.
Okay. So I was just wondering what the avenue was to.
Right. Yeah. So it's a K-pop idol group, kind of, and it's somewhat run by the company that runs BTS.
So there's like from Justin to Kelly situation, possibly, but hopefully better.
No. Well, that was so 23 candidates at the beginning, and by the end there were 7. And it was pretty brutal.
Okay.
And it was half audience vote and half producers in the show vote.
Damn. Okay.
They're debuting at the end of the month, so I'm looking forward to that. And BTS's new album is dropping on the 20th, so I'm really excited about that. And it's, I think, a new era for them. As of COVID, they didn't do their world tour. They weren't able to promote their album that just came out right before the pandemic. So they had a bunch of ambitious plans that got canned.
You think that you think that then they'll have a period where they're not just, I mean, obviously not doing live shows, but like the Beatles, another Western, the Beatles like stopped doing live shows at some point because
they really miss performing.
Okay.
There's a unique synergy between the Army and BTS.
Yeah, it does seem like they have a that song, specifically shows they kind of have more of a healthy relationship with their fandom. So
yeah, exactly.
That's good.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure, it's probably like, like we've been talking about a little bit. If they come to the U.S., I'm sure that we're just like all the fans over here are just like, oh my god, because that's how we do fandom. Yeah, but Yeah, no, it's a really, really fun stuff. I recommend checking it out, guys, if you haven't already listened to some K-pop or J-pop, some great J-pop too, or just well-produced pop in general. Like we do mostly like rock stuff and hip hop stuff on this show, but like there's some great pop albums as well. So yeah. Anything else you've been listening to before we get out of here, Mel?
I've been into listening to Tunic again.
To who?
That one Indian. Okay.
Most of that cut out.
Tunic.
Most of that cut out, but I got Indian ...
Tunic.
Timmick.
You know this song, right?
Timmick dick . Yeah.
I've been listening to some Bollywood lately as well.
Oh, that's always fun. That's always fun. Yeah. They know how to fucking jam. All right, well, we're going to get out of here, but thank you everybody for listening to the...
one song I would like everyone to listen
Johnny.
to.
Yeah.
One song I would like everyone to listen to while we're in this hard time of all this caught up between this bull crap.
Which will all be...
Just remember the Rainbow Connection, my friends, by Kermit the Frog. It's a beautiful song. It'll put you in a beautiful place.
And, it ain't easy being green.
It ain't easy being green.
Best sung
by Big Bird.
If there's anything we need to say to you today, it's not easy being green.
It's not easy being green.
Thank you for joining us for the Album Concept Hour. We'll catch you next time.
We love all of you.
We love you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
And night. And life. Thanks for listening. The Album Concept Hour is Brad LeBaron, Dave Gallagher, John Aker, and Scott Wesley. Special thanks to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard for the theme music. Please like us on Facebook or friend us on Twitter or MySpace and let us know what concept album you would like to hear on the podcast. See you on Side B. This has been a Revolver Audio production. Executive producer Brad LeBaron. For more podcasts, visit soundcloud.com/revolveraudio, or to support new content, visit ko-fi.com/revolveraudio. Revolver.